Hello and welcome back to Supernatural Lifeline Revelations. I am your host, Prophetess TNT, Taryn Nicole Tarver, throwing out this amazing lifeline to you. We've been answering your questions lately of who is Lifeline TNT Worship. Where did these artists come from? How come we never heard of them? And we love them. So we thank you for loving us. We thank you for downloading the CDs. We thank you for listening to the songs. We thank you for following all of our artists. And we thank you for connecting and the producers as well. It's been a really amazing project that only the Lord could have put his hand on to do. And so you wanted to know more about the people who are involved that make this happen. It's a crazy, amazing bunch, as you can see, and we're able to get things happen. We're actually stronger together than we are apart. We're kind of like the X-Men of Christianity, you know. We all have our different things, and but we bring so much to the table when we come together. So today I have two amazing artists you're going to get to know more about, and they're both very dear to me, and so I'm glad to have them today and we get to interview them. But today we have Eric Conditt and we have Calvin Winbush. Woo! Yes. Oh my goodness. So Eric, it's been really such an amazing pleasure to introduce the world kind of to you, because I feel like you've been a hidden gem. And it was funny, we were doing our record release party, and I was like, I called you Secret Weapon. Mm-hmm. It was like you were a secret weapon, because people were like, where did this guy come from? How come we've never heard him? His voice is dynamic. It's amazing. And you've really been gifted with an amazing voice. You are a proud father, devoted husband. You have so many hidden talents that are revealed in the spotlight, and you're very humble. We love that. You've been a musician 38 years that you've been bringing this all together and allowing God to develop you. When did you first know that you were actually inclined to do music?
I did my first solo at 6 years old in my church, and I forgot the lyrics right in the middle of the song, but I maintained my composure, and I just kind of went like that, kind of shrugged my shoulders, and my music teacher, she just kind of looked at me like these crazy beaded eyes, and she's like, we're going to do it again. Give me that sign, and she did it, and we made it through. We got a standing ovation. I was like, this is it.
So. Wow, 6 years old.
6 years old, yeah.
Wow, so were you raised in a Christian family?
Yes.
Okay, good. So were your parents a little shocked when you went a little wayward and started to do other things? I know you went to Teen Challenge, which I'm a big fan of Teen Challenge. Mm-hmm. Ministry Institute, it's one of, they say, the proven cure to the epidemic of drugs, and that's through Jesus Christ. It's funded even by the government, and it helps people to actually, they really learn, who God is, and that's where I actually met you. I was coming there, going to a church, and they were bringing people from Teen Challenge, and my first time I ever heard you worship, it was so dynamic, it was so amazing, and you just captivated everyone, because we were watching you in your intimacy with God, and it just spilled over on all of us, and I can still hear your sounds and your songs. I can still see you up there, and it's such a blessing all these years later to connect with you. By chance, I'll just let you guys know, I got reconnected with Eric because, YouTube kept flagging me, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. They're hitting me up because I have to make my own music. Let me see what I have. Oh, I remember I did this song 2005, and I was listening to it. I was like, oh, it's still in there. The worship is there. Oh, it still hits me the same way, and it was just hitting me, the vocals, the chords, and I'm just like, I've been changing from the inside. I'm not the same. And I was like, and you're singing, and it's so awesome. And I'm like, then all of a sudden, Eva's doing my makeup, and she went to church with us. She's like, Eric's on Facebook. I was like, come again? I didn't even think. You think he would want to? Yeah. You think? And look at Calvin. Calvin's like, yeah? Yeah. Let me just let me slide into his DM real quick and send him some music. Hey, Eric, do you remember this song? I would really like to. And Eric's I know those weren't my songs. I don't know. I don't want to get into any trouble. I was like, no. I know the lady, and it's really okay. And she's signed off on it, and we put her down as the author. But do you want to I want to put this out? And he's like, yeah, but I have some new stuff too. I'm like, come on, come on board. And you came. When you came, what was that like when you came and you're like, oh, there's people. The first time you came, you met Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin is a producer.
Yeah.
Calvin is a musician. He plays every instrument, just like you. You know, I've seen you on the keyboard. I've seen you play, you know, the guitar. I've seen you with the bass. And he does the same thing. You guys are like the same person, but you've never met before. And here I'm sending you to this house, and I'm not even there. And you go. And what happened?
It was awesome. You know, he had a nice, welcoming atmosphere, and it just it was a pleasure. We did 2 songs.
Yeah. 2 songs. And you told me, you were like, yo, you remember what you said? Where did you get this guy from?
Yeah, he was very just humble and unassuming and everything. And then he went into the booth to like record some stuff, and I was like, oh wow, like it just didn't. I wasn't expecting that from his voice and everything, and so it was really nice and stuff. And just he came in at a great attitude, so it was super easy to work. And
he was working with Dominique that day, right?
Yeah.
And you love working with Dominique. She's like easy. She's born for this, so it's good.
Yeah. So no, that was great.
And you got to work with Dominique, and you're doing it with somebody else who you've never met. And here you guys are going into
absolute pleasure to work with.
That was great, right?
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, score. Thank you, Jesus. What did it like revive something in you? I know you said before that you'd had a band before.
Yes.
So what was it like singing for Jesus when you first came, and then like where you were at like 2005, 2006, 2007, and like now where you are in 2021? What is the difference between those things too?
The big difference right now is what Ahava, you know, that project did, and now the latest ones, is this kind of rebirth that passion for songwriting. Somewhere along the line, kind of life got in the way.
Yeah.
And work and family, so on and so forth, etc. But now I find myself, you know, even when I'm at work, you know, just writing down, you know, if a chorus comes to my mind or something like that.
Yeah, you're writing it down.
Yeah, I have my cell phone now too, so I can just kind of record something real quick. But it's got that those creative juices flowing in. So.
Were you surprised? Like God totally remembered you. He remembered you. Like you weren't looking for it. It came looking for you.
That's usually when it happens, though. You know, when you stop looking for it and stop going after it. That's usually, I think, when God can trust you with it. So.
And you didn't even, I don't think even Calvin, like, I'm going to talk more about you, but like, Calvin kind of like hit me to like, even like where I was at. Like, he's like, you're on some other stuff. Like, you don't understand. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, we're just making music. Let's get it out. All I know is get it done. And you can probably see why our father is, Papa Lo is our spiritual father. Like, a part of him is in me, that drive and ambition. It's like, we mirror that, like getting the work done. And I was really serious because he said he has a lot of people that make music and never do anything with it. And then for yourself, you look up and you're like, we're in Times Square. What was that like? I've got to hear what that was like for you. I
was shocked. I mean, I know that I've known you for a long time, and I know that when you put your mind to it, it's going to be big. But that was a shock. I saw it on Facebook at something like Times Square or something like that. So I turned it on live, and I was like, oh my gosh, it blew my mind. But yeah, I was shocked. It was awesome.
Oh, I've got some cool little stuff up my sleeve too. I can't wait for you guys. Like that, you guys don't even know. Like we're taking videos. I'm like, just sing the song. Next thing you know, they're like, we have a whole video. Yeah. Like, wait, what's going on here? We have a video, and the video is like done, and the video is good. Like, what is happening here? You know, like we're just taking pictures, and the pictures came out good. What I love is the collaboration of like the talents, the abilities when you bring everybody together. Just like you would think we all knew each other, and what's great is like you actually knew God's will. You knew Will. You know, and when you walked in, and you're like, hey, I know you. What was that?
Yeah, no, he had produced. For another artist that we both knew, and I was like, you know, I mentioned her name, and he's like, yeah, no, we just finished it. So it made me that much more comfortable to be there. It was like, you know, working with a longtime friend. It's awesome.
That is so great. Oh my goodness. So, what does your wife and kids think about this?
They think it's cool. You know, with the.
Like downloading Dad's name. Dad has the song out, and it's on iTunes and everywhere. Dad is streaming. Wait a minute.
I showed my daughters the Times Square, just like the picture of, you know, the group, and they're like, what? what? You know, they're just kind of surprised. My wife was like, dang, okay.
She's like, okay. She's like, come on, let's do something with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like, go husband.
It always helps to have their support, you know.
Oh, it's so good. That is really, really good. So Calvin, having a baby this last year, getting married too. Hey, Charlie girl, love her. Your baby's so cute. I saw her walking and stuff the other day. She's really amazing.
She's getting up there. She's like standing up a lot.
I love that. She was trying to like get the little walk thing going.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting because you gotta just secure everything.
Everything. The whole life changed.
Everything.
But this has been awesome watching, knowing that, you know, being a military brat but finding yourself being able to first be able to play the saxophone and then discovering that you have a gift to like play anything.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was, I mean, the biggest thing, like, I'm glad that when I actually started playing saxophone because it gave me like, I guess just some sort of music theory or understanding of like, okay, these are notes, this is what I'm doing. And I had a music teacher, Miss Bonnie Klein, who would play the piano while we would play our instruments. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I was just like, hey, can you teach me how to play like piano? I did it very just casually. And she was like, oh, God, because it's a lot of effort and everything.
Right.
But, you know, like, thankfully, this was before internet was huge. So it was like, that's all I had to do. And my mom was super overprotective. I was in Detroit, so she had to be.
Right.
So it was like, I was in the house. So it was like, all right. I got the saxophone, and I had like a little mini Casio keyboard, and I was like, all right, so every day that's all I was doing for hours.
Wow.
And I just got really good really fast, and just the same mindset that helped me to get good on saxophone, I just applied to any other instrument. It's like, okay, just don't have any expectations of being great like when you start off. It's going to be weird, but then learn to play other songs, and then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And
Can you play by ear now?
For a bit, yeah. Like on guitar, it's easy because I just can hear something, find the chords, and then just go from there. It's pretty simple. I don't play piano as much, but it's a similar thing. Like once you've heard stuff, you're just kind of like waiting for that sound, like when the key that you're playing is matching the thing that you're hearing.
Oh my goodness.
And you go from there.
I love it. I really love, I didn't know that you could produce music.
Yeah.
And I really loved watching you because at church I watch you do your thing and it's really great, but I didn't know that you were this amazing producer, and I trusted don't make me cry.
Yeah.
My baby, which was Shannon, with you. You know, that was my first project, and I scratched a whole guy. Like, I was like, this ain't it. I was like, you know, Alma dropped her first one. I was like, I like how she sounds. Give me those vocals, and I'm sending them over to you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you were that talented. And what was so amazing is how you mixed it.
Yeah.
And it sounded like you could play Shannon on the radio in the car, in the bass and the beats and the sounds were so dynamic. I was like, oh, because my fear was not a fear, but not fear, because I don't walk in fear. My concern, that's better. My is sounding that B Christian music that they put out there that sounds real weird. I cannot do that. Like, I need it to be A. We're doing this documentary, it needs to be an A. It needs to be an A. I need everything to be so legitimate. And I was the first one you sent me.
Yeah.
You caught my vision. You knew where I wanted my words and my own vocals to come in. You were able to see it. And I was like, he feels the heartbeat, which is all of us, every one of us has that heartbeat thing. Like, you don't even have to, like, teach us too much. We all can just do it. Like, we were just sitting there taking a picture, and we all just, 5 seconds, we got it. It's not like, you know, it's like we're geniuses when we all put our hearts together. And it's the heartbeat. You felt the beat. You made it happen. And it was so amazing. And I loved it because, oh, my goodness, when I first heard Desire, I was like, thank you, Jesus. And I was like, and then then you send me The God of Favor. Oh, I remember where I was, what I was doing. I was like, oh, my gosh, this is so amazing. I was like, somebody, who could be the first person I could play for it? It was so great. You were like, made something that I didn't even know I could do possible. And it was like, okay, let's really do this. And it was so great to see that you could do it. And then you totally blew me away Because here I am talking to Prophet Passion, and I have a favorite song at that time, and I'm listening to Homesick, and I was like, matter of fact, I played it for somebody yesterday. I was like, I need this song. I was in Jamaica, and they were like, who is this? You know, I'm like, I got my like get ready music, it's my rocky music, you know. So certain songs I play on that little playlist. So I was like, this is my favorite. I was like, man, I love this jam, like this dude's voice. So I hit up Prophet Passion. He didn't tell me it was you. I was like, I need this guy. Who is this guy? He was like, Deep. And you know, all he said was Deep. He didn't tell me, and not even realizing the person that I love listening to sing has produced my music.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
so
like,
sweet.
what is wrong with you people? You have all this talent and you're not sharing it with me. You're so humble. And I love your guys' humility. So I'm like, you have to do a song for me.
Amen.
And then you did my love song, Eternal Love.
I love that song.
And the first second I heard it, you had that little slow drag. And I was like, and everybody said, oh, he sounds like John Legend. And I was like, is it Legend? John Legend? Yeah. I was like, oh, he doesn't he? And it was so beautiful. And you did it with Dominique, and it was great. And you liked working with Dominique.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized how you were, too. Like, if I really want to get a project done, we have to bring the team over because you work better with all of our team.
Yeah,
and it was really good. Like, we get stuff done.
It just creates a nice energy and everything.
It was so great.
Yeah.
So I was having a day.
Yeah.
And I told him having a day, and I'm like, I was coming back from Maryland, and I was just like, man, God, you know what? I'm strong in you. I'm running back to you. Like, I just need to feel you when I wake up. I need to feel you in every essence of you. I need to walk with you and talk with you. Like, I'm running back to you, Jesus, the place where I was strong, the place where I belong. And I just sat down, and I was writing it. I started texting it, and I hit send. Now, I'm in Atlanta getting ready to catch a layover. By the time I land, Eric and Dominique meet each other for the first time. They're in the studio with you. And you guys dropped the most amazing song. And I was like, oh my goodness. When I got off, I was just like in tears. It literally came to life within 2 hours, 3 hours you had it done.
Oh, that's awesome.
What happened? Like, I wasn't there.
No, that was
Eric,
great.
You guys, come on, tell me, what happened there?
I remember, I think we were in the studio and we got the text and everything. And so, like, thankfully, you know, I had worked with Prophet Passion so many times, and so like sometimes we don't get that. Sometimes he'll just give you like a hint.
I want this.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's like, and you just have to interpret. And when he says like, okay, let me interpret.
So you're telling me I'm like really
precise. You gave like, okay, great. That's a lot more and everything.
Okay.
So.
Sometimes you know how I get. Sometimes I get the melody, and sometimes I get the words, and sometimes I just get the words and no melody. And either way, you guys figure it out.
That's really not different how a lot of songwriters work. They'll either get one or the other, and then or they'll get both at the same time, and then they just develop it. So it's not like some different thing that you're doing.
And you took my horrible voice out of the first one, and you made it work.
No, it was good stuff. But yeah, no, you got it, and I think that. You saw the text and everything, or we had some of the lyrics, and we were like, okay, let's just kind of workshop this. He was really great on keys, just killing it and singing.
Oh, he did the keys?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He did the keys?
Yeah.
I just found out. So you find out all kind of new stuff.
That was really good.
Oh my goodness! So you played? I love this.
Yeah. And Dominique, she had your text, and so she was kind of reading off what you read, and read it off a couple times, and then as I was going in the booth, she kind of just kind of
harmonized.
Well, yeah, no, it just she was so easy to work with. It just came together real quick. Yeah. It was awesome.
Wow. Give me a little bit. Just give me a little bit of it. Come on, just give me
coming back to you, Jesus, to the place where I belong, the place where I am strong. I love it.
Yeah, I love that song.
It was so good.
I'm glad. We were happy you liked it. We were like, okay, because there's always a moment when you're like sending somebody something like, man, I hope this is in the
sometimes if I don't like it, they know I'll tell you. I'll be like, this little part, you had me to right here, and I need you to, Will tell you, like, I'll be like, this little piece right here, we need to work on this little tweak, and then they send it back, and it's so good. Like, you guys are so amazing. You catch the vision.
Yeah.
And you guys really, like, run with it. Like, oh, my goodness. So, wow. Just so awesome. Really, it's been very easy to work with you guys. Like, where do you see yourself like going with this music thing? Like, what do you see? I can see, like, I'm a seer, so I see, like, literally, I see like 1 million people in a room. Like, I see, you know, in a one setting, I see those crowds, those crusades coming back. You know, I see people being able to worship and falling under the anointing. I see the Hillsong type, the Bethel. I literally, you guys all on the stage and just taking turns. I already am there. Like, I've been there.
I love that.
And so, you know, it's just so amazing. But I can see that already.
I love that.
You know, and I'm going to literally do some video stuff with you guys where just let you guys run through the songs again and at Revelation with the fog and you know all the stuff and just, like get the background going and just like bring it, you know.
That's really
and then we can mix all this together because my degree is in broadcasting, visual design and production. My undergrad and my graduate, then I worked at KZI, ABC Television, like I worked at WB, I've been public broadcasting, so like I can just see the pieces of us putting this together. And your families, like we're family, like with the kids coming and, you know, the wives and, you know, and the marriages and the stuff. It's so amazing to see like this is really like come together divinely by God.
Yeah. No, it's so awesome to see that just because, like, you know, again, you said when you started, it was like, okay, I just want to go. It was like the Abraham thing, like, hey, I'll show you and whatnot. And so it's like you just, but I feel like so many times people get caught up in wondering how things can go wrong. And you're like, okay, well, let's focus on how things can go right. Like, let's do this. Because people will tell you when they see your effort and they see your drive and everything. That's something that I was definitely just attracted to. Like, wow, she's really passionate and she's serious about this. And she's had such a heart for people and whatnot. Like, it's one of those things where you see it like, oh, this is going to go forth whether or not I'm a part of it. So, like, let me, like,
jump a part
help her out and be like, oh, yeah, I was there. You know, I knew. You know, I was there all along. She was killing it. It's like, nah, because it's your energy and your, you know, okay, you realize, like, hey, I might not know how to do this, but I know that God can show me how to do this.
What was so different about, like, you were telling me, like, you were like, I inspired you to, like, get things done and move along dates. Like, what was different? Because I don't know.
No, it's just that, like, sometimes, you know, you can, what is it, paralysis through analysis. People will think themselves to stagnancy and just be like, oh, well, we need this and everything, as opposed to, like, okay, what do we want to do? What is the goal? And just doing the steps to get to that goal. And, or putting different deadlines and everything. Actually, it creates more of a breeding ground for action, and as opposed to just like, oh, well, okay, well, you know, well, it has to be this perfect thing and whatnot. And it's just like, well, God's going to perfect it. Like, you just, you know, make it. You just be obedient, and then he'll come behind, and it'll be this really dope thing at the end. You'd be like, wow, I didn't see how this come together. Of course you couldn't, because you were over here. But just having faith in God that he's going to actually make this thing that, you know, you're attempting something greater is, you know, a way to get actually stuff done, as opposed to, you know, just trying to, I don't know, just trying to be so perfect right now that you don't actually get anything done. Wow. And so it's like you didn't stop, you didn't let your level of experience stop you and everything.
And people dropped the ball. They were like, oh, this is too much. And they just didn't show up, and we would get up and just pick it up and figure out, like, we didn't know how to do a lot of things that we know how to do now.
Exactly.
And it's been really such a learning journey, you know. And I love it because, you know, you do films and you do acting and you're on commercials and you know, you take time for the little people.
No, stop. No, it's great.
Oh, my goodness. Eric, I just really, you have such a worshiper's heart. And I've always said that I see you like in Jason Upton, like just so amazing what God is going to do with you. And even prophetically, I've just encouraged you to, like, you know, push your music, write your music, put it out there. Just if you can dream it and you can think it, it's already happened. It's already done, you know. And I love the fact, you know, we're working on a production studio. Our own, like, production house where we can shoot everything, we can edit everything, we can come in and, you know, nobody's like, hey, you're in a time frame, get up out of here, you know. So I'll be calling you to come help me set up my booth. Because I remember when I was over at your house, you hadn't even put the soundproof stuff on the wall. It was, like, behind me. And it was funny. Remember Papa Lo called, and he was like, are you in the studio? He's like, I was like, Papa, are you seeing in the spirit or what? He's like, I'm seeing this stuff.
It looks like somebody's doing something studio-esque.
Something. I'm like, Calvin. And he's like, oh, Calvin's coming to me. But I love it. I really love this.
I love it.
Yeah. Eric, you have to, well, Encounter's coming in December.
Yes.
And, you know, we just did, like, the graduation weekend.
Yeah,
was
that was fun.
Really fun. Like, I can't even believe that we did all the stuff we did that weekend.
pull
Like,
that
it was so
off.
crazy. But Encounter's coming. It's 2 days, so it's going to be huge because literally when we're singing, it's going to be at the concert in front of all these people, and it's going to be you guys singing your songs, and you guys get to like rock the world. People will come from all over the country to encounter Jesus, and you guys get to usher them in. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So this year, I cannot wait because, you know, we have our own house now, the $8 million building. We have to be on that stage that you're on every week.
Yeah.
You were in the side studio, so you didn't get to see like the other side.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Like,
It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy over there.
Holy cup of tea right there.
A whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be doing some amazing
that's
things,
awesome.
and people will get to see you, and we'll record all of that. And Esther Rose is going to be directing.
Hey, good
so
stuff.
yeah, it's all going to be professional. So you know, put on your Sunday best, because it's going to be really great. On December 3rd and December 4th. So I look forward to like reintroducing you guys to the world and letting everybody see what God has put in you guys, and get to hear the voice, and you get to play in front of everyone, and and I'm looking forward to Prophet Lovi getting to meet you, because everybody keeps telling him what an amazing voice you have, but you haven't got to meet him yet.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet.
You got to bring your family. You have to come on a Thursday night and just we'd love to have you. Oh my goodness! So we've been here with Eric Conditt and with Calvin Winbush, and you guys, producers, they're both like the same person sitting here when it comes to music. They are so talented, so amazing, and they've shared their life with us today, their families, their husbands, their fathers, and I love this. They're lovers of Jesus, and they're so authentic. So you guys follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and social media, connect with them, and download their music. I'm Prophetess TNT. We're talking about Lifeline TNT worship. You're watching Supernatural Lifeline Revelations. Stay tuned. God bless you.